Welcome back to my math channel, my friends, my apprentices of mathematics. We are now looking at Module 3, Lesson 5. Today, we're going to start with subtraction. So this is a subtraction problem. Let me write this down. Subtraction. Okay, so let's read the instructions. Draw a picture using the rectangular fraction model I already have it set up for us. Write the answer and simplify answer if possible. Okay. I recommend that you do this in steps so you remember what to do. Step one is just draw the model. Draw model. Okay, so there is a model, and this represents 5, 6, this first model, and this is going to be minus 1/4. Okay, now let's show that on the number line. So this is going to show 6 parts. So let's going to show 6 parts. So let's start with 3 parts. So there is 3, and let's make it now 6 by segmenting the 1/3. And over here we have to show 4. So we have to first segment the whole thing in half, and each half is going to be segmented in fourths. Now we got to show what is represented here. So this is 5 sixes, so 6 parts. So 6 parts are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 parts, but we have to represent only 5. So 5 is only this one, and we have 1 left. So that means it's almost 1. This one is only 1/4, so then this one is easy to color. So that is 1/4. Now we are representing that because it's important for our ending product. So now step number 2 is find common denominator. How and why? Find common denominator. Okay, and why? Well, we've had to find common denominators because these two denominators are unlike, which means they are different. Now, let's do just that. So we're going to rewrite 5 sixes minus 1/4. Okay, and to find common denominators, our common practice is you multiply. If 6 is one denominator, the opposite denominator is 4. So we multiply the denominator and the numerator by 4. And we repeat the process with the 4. The opposite denominator from 4 is 6. So we're going to multiply this by 6 and the numerator by 6. I recommend my students to write this again like in this manner. 5 times 4. So all I'm doing is copying this and rewriting 6 times 4, which is this, minus, I'm going to put this in write a parenthesis around this, 1 times 6, 1 times 6, and the numerator is 4 times 6, 4 times 6. And now we can find the common fractions, the equivalent fractions. Let me write this down. So this is going to be, the numerator will be 5 times 4, that will be equal 20. The denominator will be 6 and 4 equals 24. Minus 1 times 6, that will be 6, and 4 times 6 equals 24. Now we can tell that we can now write the 20/24 is a fraction that has the same value as 5 sixes. And now we're going to find the other equivalent fraction. 1/4 is has the same value as 6 and 24. So now we found it, my friends. This is it. So let's show what happens next. So now we're going to use the equivalent fractions to do the subtraction. 20/24 minus 6 and 24. Okay, now, here's where things get a little dicey. You have to look at we're gonna create now, this model has to represent this fraction, 20/24. How do we do that? Well, if this was divided in 6 parts, but we multiplied it by 4, that means we have to show 4 on this side. So let's do that. So that's going to be 1/2, and each half is divided into fourths. So now that picture represents 20/24. Okay, that's 20/24. This represents 6/24, but it doesn't look like it because we have to multiply by the opposite denominator, which is 6. So now we're going to do thirds first, and each third is going to become, I think, 6s. Yeah, something happened here. That was magic. So that's going to be, so now that's going to represent 24, but we have 6 out of 6. Now we can solve the problem. Okay, so what is the problem? We're 20 minus 6. So these are the 6 that we're going to take away from this one. We're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what is the remainder? Well, the remainder should be 14/24. And that answer has to match the number in this circle. So let's see if it's 14 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. My friends, the answer is correct. So the answer is 14/24. Now, let's simplify. Okay, how do you know when you have to simplify? Well, let me write step 3. Step 3, simplify. That means you find an equivalent fractions that equal the same answer. So we said it was 14/24. So here is the answer, 14/24. Now, how do you know what to divide the number by to find the lowest, the least, reduce the same value of the fraction, but in a lowest terms? Let me explain to you how we do this. So you write 14 and 24, and you find multiples. So what will be 2 times 7? And what will be 2 times 12? That will be the number on the top, right? So this one will be, oh, look at this. So if you look at these two numbers, they both have something in common, the number 2. They both can be multiplied by 2. So that means they can both be divided by 2. So 14 divided by 2 equals 7, and 24 divided by 2 equals 12. As you can see right here on this, this table. So now the answer we know is 7/12. Okay, my friends, watch the video, my apprentices, and if you do not understand something, you have to rewind it. Well, you know what? Let's go over one more problem. So here's another problem, and we're going to show exactly the same process that we did on the previous one. So this is going to be 3/8, and this, it represents 3. I mean, this is 3/4, and this is 3/8. And let's represent it with the divisions. This is 4 parts. So we're going to show 4 parts here. And this is 8 parts. So we have to show 8 parts here. So first we do halves, and then we do fourths. Next we do eighths. We segment this whole in eighths. Our next part is to show what that represents. So let's look at our, so this one represents 3 of them. So we're going to color 3. 1, 2, 3. So that's 3 over there. This one represents 3 out of 8. So it's going to be just all the way up to here, to number 3. Okay? Okay, now we have that. And our next step, like we mentioned before on the previous problem, is going to be step number 2. Remember that this is a subtraction. So step 2